Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It is Tuesday, May the 27th. I'm Andrew Gagan. Well, the local share market is set for a modestly higher opening with ASX futures up 0.25%. US and UK markets were closed on Monday for holidays. Global equity markets climbed and the euro rallied after President Trump delayed his threat to impose 50% tariffs on European Union goods. European shares began the week positively, recouping the previous session's losses, with the pan-European stock 600 index closing around 1% higher. Defence companies were among the biggest boosts, with Rheinmetall and Leonardo gaining more than 3% each, pushing the aerospace and defence index higher. ThyssenKrupp shares surged on reports that the submarine and car parts manufacturer plans to hold a shareholder meeting in August to approve an expected spin-off of its warship division. And luxury stocks exposed to the US market gained, including Kering, LVMH and Richemont. Well, the United States and the European Union have agreed to fast-track trade negotiations following President Trump's reprieve on 50% tariffs on EU imports. Trump had nominated July 9th as the deadline to allow talks between the US and the 27-nation union to produce a deal. The EU also wants to see an end to 25% tariffs on steel and cars, and for the Trump administration to drop the so-called reciprocal tariff, which was provisionally set at 20% for the EU, but is being held at 10% during a 90-day pause. Well, in the latest Fed speak, FOMC member Neil Kashkari has said the administration's policy shifts are creating uncertainty for officials, saying anything is possible, but will the picture be clear enough by September? I'm not sure right now. We will have to see what the data says, but also how the negotiations are going. The Australian three-year government bond yields have fallen to 3.42%, the 10-year falling to 4.34%. The markets are pricing in a 70% chance the RBA cash rate will be cut by another 25 basis points at the next meeting in July, with 3 more cuts in the easing cycle. The euro has hit a one-month high against the US dollar. Meanwhile, ECB President Christine Lagarde has said the euro could become a viable alternative to the dollar, saying the ongoing changes create the opening for a global euro moment. The euro will not gain influence by default, it will have to earn it. And the greenbacks now makes up some 58% of international reserves, the lowest in decades, while the euro has a 20% share. Bitcoin is trading above 109,000 US dollars. On the commodities front, oil prices have held steady, with news that 8 OPEC Plus countries, which had pledged extra voluntary oil output cuts, will now meet on Saturday to decide future output. Brent crude futures at $64 a barrel. Copper's little change, while iron ore has fallen around 1% to $98 a tonne. And the gold price has eased around 0.5% to $3,342 an ounce. Well, it's a quiet day on the data dockets. On the corporate calendar, ALS and Findi are due to release earnings results. Newmont shares trading ex-dividend, and Neuren Pharmaceuticals holds its AGM. That is your day ahead. See you again tomorrow.